Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while, but I am back and launching a new DevOps course. So from now onwards, I'll be breaking down each DevOps tool step by step. If you are new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and share it. So this video is part of my AWS Terraform Zero to Hero courses, and you will be learning what Terraform is and why DevOps engineer use it in the real project. So before that, if you're able to see, my channel name is Free Training and CloudOps, and you can subscribe it. And I have completed already AWS Zero to Hero courses and EKS, some few topics, and GCP. I'm going to start it very soon, but I have few tutorial. It is already in place. Please watch it. So now let me talk about what is Terraform. Okay, so I'm going to do the practical and as well as theory. Okay, so let's talk about what is Terraform. So Terraform, Terraform is a infrastructure as a code tool. Also, we call it as a IAC. Okay, so IAC means what? It is a infrastructure as a code. Okay, and next point is so infrastructure as a code means we created a cloud resources like EC2, VPC, and S3 using the code instead of the manually clicking in the AWS console. Okay. And Terraform is developed by company called HashiCorp, and it uses the language called HCL. So HCL means it is a HashiCorp configuration language. So I've already note a point everything. So I'm going to share it all these details in the my description. Okay. Now let me talk about why DevOps engineer using the Terraform. So why DevOps engineers use the Terraform? Because manually cloud setup is a slow and it is a error. Okay. So that is the reason we are going to use it. With the Terraform, we are going to do the automate infrastructure and reuse the same code multiple times and avoid human mistakes and store infrastructure as a Git. So this is the reason we are going to use the Terraform. Okay. So this makes it is going to be infrastructure consistent and fast and reliable. Okay. So now we are going to talk about a real world example. Okay. For example, uh, if you are working on the any of the company, okay. So let's take a real example. Okay. So why we are using the Terraform? Okay. So if you wanted to create a 10 EC2 machines manually, so you need to click many times in the AWS console, right? Okay. But with the Terraform, you are going to write the code and once one command and all the resource created automatically. Okay, so this is why Terraform is heavily used in the real DevOps projects. And if you coming to next one is what is the difference? So what is a Terraform versus manual AWS? So manual AWS setup is good for learning, okay, but in real companies Terraform is preferred because it saves the time, cost, and effort. So that is why Terraform is considered as a skill for the DevOps engineer. So if you're talking about the summary of till now what we have discussed, okay, Terraform is the infrastructure as a code tool. DevOps engineers uses it for the automation and it reduces the manual work and errors. It is widely used in the real project. Now let me come to what is the difference between Terraform versus CloudFormation. Okay. So in very simple terms, if you wanted to tell, so Terraform is a different tool. CloudFormation is a AWS own services. Okay. If you are confused about which one to learn, I'll help you. Okay. So now let me talk about the what is CloudFormation, right? So first, let's understand CloudFormation. CloudFormation is an AWS service used to create the AWS resources using the template. It works only with the AWS and uses the JSON or AML files to create the resource. Using the CloudFormation, we can able to automate AWS infrastructure, but only inside the AWS. Okay. So now let me come to what is Terraform. Okay, so now let's talk about Terraform. So Terraform is an infrastructure as a code tool developed by Ashikar. Terraform supports AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and many other providers. Okay, and Terraform uses the simple language called HCL. I already told you, which is easy to understand. So now let me come to the difference. Okay, so the biggest difference is multi-cloud support. It will support your Terraform. Terraform works with the multiple cloud providers. CloudFormation works only in the AWS. Terraform code is simple and readable. So CloudFormation templates are more complex. Okay. So in the real DevOps project, Terraform used more widely. Okay. So that is why we are going to use a Terraform. Now let's me talk about one more time real world scenarios. Okay, in many companies, DevOps teams use Terraform because it is flexible and reusable. Even if the company changes the cloud providers, Terraform code can still be used. This makes Terraform use a future-proof skill. So which one should you learn? Okay, which one we need to learn it? Let's talk about this point. So if you are a beginner or DevOps engineer, learn Terraform first, and you can learn CloudFormation later if your project requires it. Terraform gives more opportunities. Okay. So this is all about the Terraform. Okay. Now, how to install the Terraform on the Linux and Windows. Okay. Let me talk about. So before going to that, okay. So you need to create the AWS account first. Okay. That is a main pre-requirement. And let me come to that Terraform. Okay, there is a official documentation for the Terraform. Okay, if you just Google it Terraform, it will come Ashikar and how to install it and the documentation, a few tutorials it is available, and how we can able to use the codes and how we can able to install it. Everything it is available here. So this is official documentation and how to install it for example, Mac, for Windows and Linux, okay, and Ubuntu. All the steps it is already provided here, okay. And here is tutorials also it is available. Depends on the cloud providers. And if you wanted to documentation left side, you can able to see it and how to install it. Okay, you can able to see the view of can view the videos. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything. Okay, so let's come back to here. First, let me install the Terraform on Windows machine. Okay, so you need to come to AWS, you need to log in it, then go back, go to the instance. So create a instance. Okay, so whatever I'm going to do it right now, it is a manual. Okay, now I'm going to show it to you how we can able to create the EC2 instance, any resources in the AWS. So before that, we need Terraform need to be installed on the where we are working. Okay. So for that, I'm going to use a Windows machine. I'm going to show it to Linux and Windows both. So I've selected the images. Let me select the instance type and I'm going to use key. Let's create a key pair. Test. Okay. So I'm going to select the security groups and I'm going to launch the instance. So this is a Windows machine I have created. Okay. Let me do it for the Linux also. So you can able to select it anyone. Okay. So today I'm going to just show it you for the Linux, then Windows I'm going to show it you tomorrow. Let's select Ubuntu and let me keep here. I'm going to use the same security groups and launch instance. So let it run it. Okay. Let me talk about what is the common while installing, you will get the error. So if Terraform is not recognized, check the path. Okay. Rerun the installation of the always verify the Terraform version command. Okay. I'm going to show it to you. Okay. If it is same thing, if there is any errors in the Windows, same thing. So Terraform sometime if it is not recognized, so we need to path the path. Okay. In the where I'm going to show it to you just how we can able to see it, everything. Let's wait for a few minutes. Maybe let's select it Ubuntu. I'll make it as Ubuntu. So let's connect it. Okay, I'm not going to use any putty or terminals, any terminals. I'm going to use a EC2 instance connect. Okay. So once you are logged in, just update the packages. Then you can able to use the command called apt install terraform. Okay. So you are getting a error, right? Okay, let's go to installation page here. So we are using a, so just copy entire thing. If it is not working this commands, just use official documentation to install it. Okay. Then verify it Terraform is installed or not. So if you're able to see it, it is installed. You can just type it Terraform. Okay. So Terraform, all the commands it will shows the main commands and all other commands it is showing. Okay. So this is all about the installation of your Linux machine. Okay. So let's clear it. And now let's go back to instance, decrypt the password, download it, just run it. So just try to connect it and it will ask for the password. So there is a multiple way to install the Terraform. Okay. So I'm going to show it you using the Chocolatey. Chocolatey is one of the package manager for Windows. So same thing. Let's go to Chocolatey official website. Okay. So if you wanted to install it in our any Windows machine, first execute the commands here. Okay. And then we try to install the Chocolatey. Okay. Using the Chocolatey, how we can able to install it. Let me copy this command. So we'll go to PowerShell. So let's wait for some time. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, let's execute the command. And before installing the Terraform, let's verify it. Okay. So let it run this command because this is going to be install the Chocolatey. This is going to be take some time. Because we have selected maybe 4 GB RAM. That is the reason it is taking time. So at least 8 GB should be there for any of the Windows servers or client machines. Okay. So it is added to the environment path. Okay. So before I think now Choco is installed. Okay, let's verify it first. Choco is installed or not. So by default it will be not there. Okay, we need to install it. So now we can able to see it. Let me make is 2.60. So now what we are trying to do, we'll install the Terraform. Okay, before installing the Terraform, let's verify the Terraform is installed or not. Okay, it is not installed. Okay, let's install the Terraform now. So normally sometimes you will get the only issues is if the environment, if it is not set, we will get the errors. So follow the same steps what I am trying to do. I think it is downloading. It is extracting. Okay, now let's use a Terraform up arrow command so you are able to see it. Now here also you can just type it Terraform. So you can able to see all the main commands, all other commands also. Okay. So this is all about today's session. So I'll come up with the next video very soon. Okay. So till that you can watch the session and you can like, share, subscribe it. So that is all for today's session. Bye guys. Bye bye.